much of what we do in the Safetov Institute School of Transformative Coaching in our courses is much of the skill development is based on the systems for counselor training that I developed and facilitated back into the early 80s. And something that very much resonated with me is that these are universal principles, universal skills, not just for counselors, psychologists, coaches, social workers, but for anyone interested in excellence in interpersonal relationships, anyone interested in mastery and communication. I remember this is about 10 years ago, and there was someone, it was a woman in her 20s, and I had known her for about 10 years. She had taken some seminars I taught in New York, in Manhattan, like 10 years prior. So I had some contact with her, and she was always interested to get coaching. And then one day she actually signed up for a package of coaching sessions with me. And so we kind of live in the same town. So for her first session, she comes to my home office. So it was an in-person session. So we sit down for our first session. And the first thing she said is, she said, "I decided that I matter enough to have a coach." And that's why she was there. So that moved me. It's more than a decade later, and I'm sharing it, that she made a determination that mediocrity was not acceptable anymore. She was dedicated to live a life of excellence. And when she said that, I decided I matter enough to have a coach. Then I felt challenged. I felt nervous, I'll say, in a good way, because I felt on the spot that she was, she's like, "I'm ready to play my A game in life, dedicate to excellence in all areas of life, give 100%. I'm tired of sitting, I'm tired of being a spectator in my life." So that means that there was no room for me to just go through the motions. We did another session. It demanded me to be at my best, to be on my A game, so to speak. And so that was challenging in a good way. Well, okay, we've used a few sports analogies. So another sports analogy, once in a while, not so much recently, but once in a while, I play a little tennis. So in the game of tennis, I don't need a coach, because in the game of tennis, I'm committed to mediocrity. If you were to see me on the courts, you'd agree. There's a man committed to mediocrity. Or less, mediocrity or less, consistently, forehand, backhand, consistently. Now, Roger Federer and Nadal and Djokovic, they want coaches, right? Their games are at like unbelievable levels of excellence. And they want the top coaches because they always want they aspire for higher and higher levels of excellence. So I'm saying like in this transformative coaching, in the Safetov spirit, if we have areas of life where one or two notches above mediocrity that's okay, it's good enough, then there's no reason for coaching. And this is what I share with clients and potential clients and those who are considering to participate in Safetov coach training in courses like Principles and Practices of Transformative Coaching, that if there's an area of life where I'm committed to, I'm dedicated to strive for excellence. Okay, then naturally we want coaches to encourage us, to give us feedback where we have blind spots, to challenge us, to stretch us in growth inspiring ways.